Hello, my name is Chris Wilmoth, and me and Sean King started the Fooling Around show. Kind of give you a reason for why I started the channel. My wife is going to ask me a few questions, and we'll just go from there.
So start off by telling me what got you into playing pool.
Well, probably like most young men, it was my dad that introduced me to the game. Just like we stopped at a little diner or something, and they had a pool table. He'd play me a game or two of pool. That's what got me started on it.
How old were you?
I was about 6 or 7. I remember that me and my dad were going to a little town in southeastern Oklahoma called Stonewall, and they had this little diner there, and they had one pool table in there. And actually, it's him and me and my grandpa had stopped in there to eat, and I went over there and just started hitting the cue ball around. And of course, I wasn't doing it right. I was taking a stick and slapping it across the table, and Dad showed me how to hold the cue, and basically just shot it straight in the hole. Then I think as I got a little bit older, we moved to Marlow, and my dad was playing pool like every night. He'd go through this one bar that in Marlow that he'd like to go to all the time. And well, on the next block they had this little it wasn't an arcade, it was a rec hall. And they had a couple of bar tables in there and some 9-foot tables, and I think the table might have cost 15 cents to play. So Dad gave me some change, and I'd go up there and play. Well, the guy that owned the place, I was being there shooting. He'd come in there and showed me like, not really angles, but he'd show me where to hit a ball to make it in the pocket. First, he'd stick the ball right in front of the hole, have me shoot it straight in. I'd get up there and shoot it, and I'd make like 5 or 10 in a row, and then he'd move it just a little bit, and I'd shoot it the same exact way, but I'd miss the shot. He said, "No, you've got to change where you hit the ball to get it go the other direction." So he taught me that, and I was going. It was in the summer, and I was going in there like every day. Well, Dad brought me home this old Valley house cue. And I thought, man, this is awesome. Well, we lived in a trailer park on the south end of Marlow. And I don't know what the difference was, but at this age, he'd let me walk just about anywhere in town that I wanted to go as long as I didn't cross the highway. So one day I remember I got my pool stick. I was going to walk towards town, and I got up on the railroad tracks and was walking right down the railroad tracks, which took me to Main Street. And then up the side of Main Street I went in there and played. Well, this was back in 1980, 81, and the oil boom around that area, it was big. So there was oil field workers that were coming up there, coming to town on their time off, and they'd either going to the bar or they were coming to that rec hall. And I just remember they were in there gambling. Well, I was in there shooting, and they asked me if I wanted to play for a quarter, a soda pop or something. I was like, man, I don't have money to do that. Well, the guy that owned the pool hall, he's like, go ahead and play, I got you. And I remember, I don't remember exactly how long I was there. It felt like all day. But when I left there, both pockets were full of quarters. Well, I get home, and I walked in with this big bulge in my pockets. I'm only 6, so they're in my pockets. And Dad said, what's that in your pockets? I said, it's a bunch of change. Where'd you get that from? I said, I won it playing pool from the oil field guys. He's like, nuh-uh. I said, yeah, I did. Because a lot of times talking to my dad, I had a tendency to not tell the truth
And
to try to get me out of trouble, and then just get me in more trouble. Well, I said no. So he went up there and asked. That guy said, yeah. Said these guys, he was playing these oil field workers, and he was kicking their tails in all the quarters. Of course, I didn't realize they would let me win, but they were. And I'll be damned if Dad didn't take all that money, all the quarters that I had. Him and Mom rolled them up. He took them and cashed them in, and probably spent them on cigarettes. But that's what got me into pool.
Okay, so tell me, why did you start this Fooling Around Show channel?
Well, since I can't really play anymore since I had a wreck, and I'm unable to walk real good. You know, I still wanted to be involved with pool. So, you know, I want to be able to travel around and travel to these. My goal is to go to the oldest pool hall in each state. But I'm finding that it doesn't have to necessarily be the oldest to have the best stories. So I want to go, but I do want to go to the older pool halls and visit with the owners and kind of get a history of the place. And then I want to hear some stories, hear road stories, what players have been through there. I'd like to meet, their best player and, kind of ask them the same questions that I started out with, like how they started and stuff, and who their biggest influences were. I also want to go to the pool halls that have good food. I like to eat, as you see, but I want to go to pool halls that have just this specialty item on their menu and try it out and kind of give my review. Not really a review, but I just try different things. Went to the pool hall in Idaho and had their 10-ball burger. And their burger, there's a mushroom burger. And it was great. I want to go. I want to interview the older players. I want to let them tell their stories, so they kind of live on through this channel. And then I want to talk to the newer players, the pros and stuff, and kind of bond the two together, I guess. I want to go to the manufacturers, like people that make the chalk, people that make the tips, the custom cue makers. I know there's some production cues that are good that have been out there for a while, like Sean and Josh and Viking and McDermott. But I want to talk to the people to where the ones that were building a cue is an art. Ever since I had my first custom cue, I don't know. I've had other production cues since then, but I always seem to go back to something custom. I guess that's why I started the channel.
So tell me about high school and playing pool.
Man, high school was kind of all I did on the weekends, and instead of going, so like I said, I went to high school in Marlow. So instead of going to Duncan and going to parties that everybody went to, I either there was an arcade there called Maximum Overdrive. And then during
the biggest screwage that he's ever caught.
Yes.
Back it up. And then during school time, we'd lunch and we'd go to this place on the north end of town called Vicentio's Pizza. And they had 2 pool tables in there. Instead of eating lunch, I'd go in there and I'd grab me a 20-ounce bottle of soda, and then I would gamble with some of the kids in there playing pool, and then use that money and I'd buy me a slice of pizza to eat on the way back to school. I used to play in all the like local tournaments. There was a tournament on Tuesday nights at High Chaparral. I'd go play in every Tuesday night.
And you could get in as a kid?
All ages at High Chaparral. Yep. That's the only thing I ever went to bars for. Bars or clubs was just to play pool.
No drinking.
No drinking. No, they when after high school, I when as soon as high school was out, I went back to Ada, and there was a club there called the Tigers Den, and during the summertime they had free pool, and pool tables were horrible. I mean, the felt was so worn that you could see the slate under it, but I'd still get in there and play. It was free. Go in there, we'd play ring games, and I might gamble a little bit. I wasn't working then, so I didn't have a whole lot of money, but so I played free pool. But Dad would go out there with me, and we'd get in the same ring game. And if he followed me, he was backing both of us. He was putting up money for both of us. He'd back me every time, and if he followed me, every time I get up there to shoot, if I missed, he was hooked. It's like, and it never failed every time. So he made me quit. He said, "God dang you, Christopher!" He said, "We're both playing on my money, and you're hooking me every time." So I got out and went and played on another table. Losing because of the sun.
Nope. Tell me how long you think you've been playing pool.
Well, I started at 6. And I'm 49 now, so that's 33 years. So, but haven't played much in the last 3 years. So, 30 years.
What's your favorite pool memory? Or story, either one.
Favorite story? I've got a lot of stories. Some not so good, some not so bad. I remember me, my dad, and Charlie Bryant jumped in the car and drove down to, first we went to Louisville. And
Louisville where?
Louisville, Texas. Charlie got a game with somebody playing one pocket. My dad got a game with somebody playing 9-ball. And I was shooting 9-ball with somebody playing for like $5 a game. It's cheap. Dad's playing this guy, running over this guy. This guy calls my dad a road player. And we're like, "No, that's the pro over there playing." And then, so that was a funny story. So another time, I was living in Ada, and I went to Oklahoma City, and I got up there, and I'd never played one pocket. Well, I played a couple times with Dad, but I wasn't really any good at it. And I went into Aces on Northwest 10th Street, Oklahoma City, and the great James Walden was in there playing and shooting around, and I didn't know him at the time. Got up there and started playing one pocket, and he asked me if I wanted to gamble at the Menace. I said, "I've never played one pocket for money." He said, "I've only played it a handful of times." He said, "I'll tell you what." He said, "I'll make 12 balls before you. I'll go to 12 and you go to 4." He said, "We'll play for $10 a game." Well, $300 later, I'm heading home. I was supposed to just come to the city to get an anniversary gift, and I wound up not getting an anniversary gift. No, I take it back. I stopped and got a T-shirt. When I got home, got my ass chewed out. And I hope to make more stories with this page, with this channel.
Tell me what you want to, what you would tell a kid starting out.
If a kid was just starting out playing pool, was something that, if I was starting over, I wish I'd have done. 2 games that I would learn to play before I learned anything else is I would learn how to play one pocket, because it teaches you strategy. It teaches you to slow down. Teaches you to see the table better. And then I would learn straight pull. I would learn to look at when to break balls out. You could learn how to decipher the rack and what ball you can hit where to make this ball somewhere else. I think those 2 games would help all of your pool games tremendously.
Can anybody else in your family play pool?
I guess kind of all of us kind of play somewhat. My brother played pretty good. He doesn't play anymore. My sister, she thinks she's good, but we lived in Ada, and we used to go to during the summer. We used to always go to the Boys and Girls Club, and she kicked everybody's tail playing bumper pool. That's not real pool, but she kicked everybody's tail. Mom played okay. It's like you playing me. I mean, she's beat Dad a couple of times. I don't know, but I don't know that he was trying real hard. Didn't really care.
You might let her win.
Yeah.
Like you let me win.
So we used to own a pool hall here in Lawton back in 2009. Made a lot of good friends out of that pool hall. Had good tournaments, had good equipment to play on. Didn't start out that way, but had some friends that stepped up and put some diamond tables in there. And as far as the business and coming in there, it changed. I mean, it changed it drastically. Players want to play on good equipment. It was non-smoking, so all ages could come in there. And I miss the kids coming in there and playing, probably more than anything. And that's the thing, those kids, if you get in there and you teach them and mold them, I mean, that's the future of the game.
So tell me about what some of those kids are doing. Did any of them continue to play pool?
I know Austin did. Played for quite a bit until he I guess got out of he went in the military. When he got out of it, he had twins after he got out. So I don't know how much he plays anymore. Who else? I haven't seen like Noah and them, Toki.
Yeah.
Haven't seen them. That's okay. I'll cut that out.
Do you want me to pause?
No. You can pause.
So you have it stopping. So tell me what you got coming up.
Well, going to Shreveport this weekend. I'm not playing, just going down there to do some interviews. There'll be a lot of good players there.
What's in Shreveport?
This is the Arclitex Open 9-ball, 1 pocket, 10-ball bank ring game, and now there's a ladies event this time. Then Labor Day weekend, we're going to the Texas Open. Then again, not going to play, but I'm going to interview some vendors down there and some players if I can. Then the last weekend of October, I'm doing a $6.99 and under 9-ball tournament at Heroes in Lawton, Oklahoma. I'm running it. It's 1,000 added guaranteed, 1,500 added with 64 or more. Let me back up a little bit. August 19th and 20th, I'm doing a $4.99 and under tournament at Heroes. And then fast forward to the last week, the weekend after Thanksgiving, I'm going to try my hand at putting on a junior 9-ball tournament at Heroes in Lawton. The ages 18 and under. Just kind of want to, doesn't seem like anybody really does a lot for the kids outside of league. So I'm going to try my hand at that. And that's really, other than traveling to different pool halls that we're going to get scheduled, that's it for this year.
I do have one more question. Tell me how you got started in this with your partner.
Sean's he's got a bigger following than me in the pool world. I know a lot of people in pool. I've met a lot of people, but he has a few more connections in the industry than I do, so thought he'd be great to partner up with, and he can go play in tournaments and try to make money while I do the stuff to try to create content for the channel.
How has that partnership been so far?
It's been pretty good so far. He's done a couple of interviews, but he's got a legend come out of retirement that's going this weekend with us to Shreveport to play in the 1 pocket and play in the 9-ball. John Guffey, couldn't think of his name, it drew a blank. But John Guffey, legendary cue maker, great person, but he's been playing 1 pocket with Sean once a week for the last several months, and he's going to go try his hand in the tournament this weekend.
A lot more stories coming from him, maybe?
Yeah, probably. I'm sure he'll talk our ear off on the way to Shreveport, but as long as we get it on video, I don't care. Mm-hmm. Just bring it on. But if it's late at night and we're coming back, he better talk just as much coming as he did going. Keep me awake.
Is there anything else you want to leave us with for right now?
No. I would really appreciate it though if you would if you go to our channel, the Poolin' Around Show on YouTube, and subscribe and just kind of help the channel grow. I promise to get better with the content. I promise to try to make the videos look more professional. And hit that, if you like it, hit that like button, leave a comment, and hit the notification bell so you'll know whenever there's new content uploaded. And thanks for watching.